Welcome everybody. We're gonna make a fast video to see the changes that brings the new matrix scoring system in Sorare. Sorry for the French followers because I'm gonna go in English because it's a global subject and I want to make it available for everyone. I just tested the differences of scoring that would lead the new system. It's through a tool that released Sorare data. I really thank them for that. It's congratulations that we have to make to them because it's really fast implemented and really useful. So the first thing that we heard about the new scoring is that it will improve a lot the fullbacks. It's true, but not so big change that I heard. In fact, you're gonna see that it's only a few points and not on all the fullbacks. The same for keeper, the same for midfielder, the same for attacker. So let's go for the test. So if you go on the keeper, you can see that the button is just here. Okay, so that's a new score that will be made with the new matrix. So they are changing the score that made the player because the player didn't make 49. He made an average of 51. And if the new matrix was implemented at the beginning of the season, you would have made 49. But it's a good choice that showing this score because if you want to imagine what will be the performance of the player in the future, it's with the new matrix. So even if he didn't really make 49 by the past, the vision that you want to have for the future has to be 49. Okay. So Donnarumma is nerfed of 2 points by the new matrix. Mandanda win 2 points. So that's significant for him. Okay, the 2 points that lost Donnarumma are won by Mandanda. Okay, kind of. Why? So if you wanna guess why, you see on the article on Medium, there is a brief sum up of the changes that were made, and you can see differences by position. Okay, so what changed? Okay, fulls are not really significant, they don't matter a lot. Let's hope so. They are more rewarded for the accurate pace. So if a keeper plays foot, a lot of his foot, and participate in the dominancy of the team, he will be rewarded for that. So in some point, it concerns Mandanda, but also Donnarumma. So I don't think that the change come from that. Maybe more from this. Yeah. That's a good change that made Sorare. Okay, I'm happy that they did so because now a goalkeeper is rewarded for effectively saving the team. Okay, stopping a shot from inside the box. I mean that maybe the most important statistic from a keeper that's prevent from goals. I do prefer really a lot having a goalkeeper rewarded because he saved a shot from inside the box than just because he kept a clean sheet. Okay, if the team was not in danger, it's not normal that a goalkeeper is rewarded a lot. So for me, there are still a lot of things that could be improved, but it go in the good way. Okay, it go in a good way. So maybe Mandanda won more with his matrix because he is saving more goals for Marseille than Donnarumma had to do, and it makes sense. Okay, Paris Saint-Germain are less in danger in their games than the Mandanda was. Or maybe they were both the same, but Mandanda effectively stopped a lot of goals that Donnarumma didn't. Okay, so it's not just a change that affects a position. The matrix doesn't affect a position, it affects a way of playing, and we're gonna see this a lot with the fullbacks. Okay, they are rumored to be the most winner, the biggest winner of the changes, but that's not really the case for all of them. Sergio Gomez, for example, doesn't really benefit from the change. Udogi, I don't know if you know him, but it's a great hope that play in Udinese. Rumored to move to Inter Milan. No change for him. Alphonso Davies, good improvement, 3 points, it's really significant. And the one, the biggest winner of the award, YNWA will be very happy about that. I'm happy too because I hold one, but I'm mostly happy about that because it rewards the risk that take this kind of player. Okay, 7 points, that's really huge. And why is he winning so much points while we see that Sergio Gomez didn't, Alphonso Davies only 3 points? It's because Trent is so offensive that he was a lot penalized by this possession lost. He was losing a lot of points because of that, and now the penalty is less important. So when he try a lot and he lose a lot of ball, he is less penalized, while in the same time attempt assists are improved. So he win a lot of points because he tries this a lot. Okay, and there is also this effect that we don't see in the case of Trent, because the compensation is huge by this point. But for example, we can imagine that for Sergio Gomez, for example, maybe he won by these two, but he lose by this one, and this one was made to suppress a bug using that was used on the center backs that made a lot of lateral passes, last accurate final third passes when they were really dominant, especially when they played in 3-5-2 formation. Because it made your center back moving more far in the pitch, and they are high on the field and make a lot of accurate third passes. Your team dominates, they make a round around the final third, and they score a lot, even if it's not leading to a goal or nothing. It's just sterilized. I don't know if you say it in English, but it leads to nothing. So it was not really fair that center back got a lot of points. And if your fullback was in this case, meaning he didn't try a lot, he didn't try to make the last good move, but only making lateral passes, he lose also points. So sometimes some fullbacks didn't get a lot of points from the changes. I mean, they won a bit, but they lose a bit also. So for these fullbacks, it doesn't change a lot. Okay, let's go through midfielders now. Frankie, after before he win 1 point. It's pretty good, but I think that he will have more changes if he change his of club. I also check if it leads to a lot of buying. No, it doesn't change. And at higher levels, no changes. That's funny about Clubber Boy, about all the Frankie de Jong super. It's really hard to get one now if you want one in super or at about Clubber. It's a nice collection, mate. If you want the unique one, you will have to come to me, but it won't be free because I like him a lot. Okay, donc Frankie, Kevin, pretty the same for him. The GOAT, the big Joshua Kimmich. Wow, 2 points more. Okay, he didn't need that, but he deserves that. Okay, that's not about he's already big, don't give him more points. No, that's not it. Okay, the question is, does the change reflect better the influence of the player on the pitch? Does it make the matrix closer to the reality? Okay, so if the move is fair, I'm okay with that. Okay, even if I'm penalized, and it's often the case because, like a SO5 maximizer, I took a lot of center backs that made lateral passes. Okay, I'm gonna check that just after, but it was not logical. Okay, so I just have to accept that and accept that the matrix rewards better player who have good influence, and it's a good move for you in the long run, because if you made accurate, appropriate transfer for your club, picking players that are good in football, no matter if the matrix at the moment is rewarding the move, in the long run it's gonna be profitable. That's what shows Sorare at the moment by this new matrix. They are filling the gap between the fantasy and the reality. Okay, that's a good move. That's what will make the experience more immersive, more easy to onboard new players. And even if you have the feeling that at the moment you are losing a bit from SO5, in the long run you're gonna win because your good moves are rewarded. New players, new managers, I mean, will onboard more easily because they will feel the game as more fair. Okay, and when you onboard more players, your existing gallery takes value. Okay, so that's a good move. And if we go to the article, seeing why Kimmich found a way to winning even more points, that's mostly, in my opinion, because this Kimmich is a good player offensively, but also defensively, and probably he won points through winning duels and interception. Okay, since he does everything on the pitch, if you if you hands some stats that were forgotten before by the matrix, now he is rewarded like he should have been from always. Okay. Parejo. Okay, winning a bit. Okay, so I let you do this for all your gallery. Okay, I just want to add some major change from the matrix. Okay, see. So with the new system, Timber is less rewarded than before, and that's again something good. I mean, defenders don't have to be rewarded for making last accurate passes in the last third. That's nothing. Okay, they should be rewarded for winning duels, making interception. That's mostly what does a good defender. Okay, and not losing the ball. Okay, but it was too much. It was almost like a bug using. Okay, if you are a holder of Timber or Saliba, like I am holder of Saliba. Okay, and it's easier for me to talk about this because there is no suspicion of, okay, you are talking about a way that make your card better, so it's okay for you, the new matrix. No, I have Saliba, okay, and I lose 2 points with Saliba, so I am affected. But I admit that I was like bug using, okay, it's not bug using, bug abusing, but I was taking an advantage from something unfair in the matrix, okay? And now, even if I take 2 less points with Saliba, I have something closer to the reality, so I'm okay with that. Okay, so Saliba, Ignacio. Okay, losing 1 point. It's not really big. Van Dijk. You see? Pretty the same on L40. Maybe because he wins a lot of duel, and so the move is not so hard on him because there is a compensation between the points he lost in making less accurate paces and winning duels. That's supposition, okay? I didn't check everything I say, but it's not just discussing about tendencies, okay? Well, let's go for attackers. Benzema lose 1 point, okay, and it's a bit surprising because I see him as like a pressure attacker. I mean, he doesn't just score goals, he also make pressure on goalkeeper. But you can see that this pressure will be rewarded only if it leads to a one duel and an interception, okay? And interception is not easy to make when you are a center attacker. It's not easy. So even if there is a pressure, if it doesn't lead to this, it won't be rewarded by points. Okay, so it's a weakness of the matrix, but at the moment, I don't see how they can reward the pressure doesn't leading to an interception or something like that. It's like for a midfielder, I would like to reward a midfielder who made a lot of kilometers. I mean, somebody who run a lot add some influence, even if it's less. It's really hard to evaluate. It's some weakness that I hope that we will be able to correct in the future. But at the moment, if there is no interception, a high pressure attacker won't benefit yet from the new matrix system. Okay. And it's what I checked with Luis Suarez. Okay, don't loud about it. I know that it's not the good Luis Suarez, but it is the one I wanted to check because he is moving to Marseille. He moved to Marseille, which is my favorite team. And he was told to be a high pressure attacker, okay, not scoring a lot of goals in Granada, but for making a pressure. So I said, cool, he will make a lot of points with the new matrix and not, okay. It's a bit like we saw for Benzema. If he doesn't intercept the ball, he won't score goals, okay. So for Haaland lose 1 point with the new matrix. Same for Mbappe, if I remember properly. Yes. Okay, and that's a card that I hold. And I'm okay with that because it goes in the good way of reflecting the football reality. So why are they losing? They are losing because maybe this. Okay, duel lost. When you are an attacker and you lose a duel, now it's more penalized. And when you win your duel, it's more rewarded. Okay, so maybe for an Mbappe who lose 1 point, maybe it's because he makes some fouls in the game. I'm not sure it's because he make errors leading to a shot. Okay, he's high on the field and doesn't defend a lot. So at the moment, I think it's not because of that. Duel lost, maybe it's because all taken in consideration, he lose more duels than he win. It's a possibility. Okay. Well, and what we see there is there, and it's what we feel by making some tests in reality, is that it doesn't impact a lot of people. I mean, significantly. It's 1 or 2 points for most of players. So that's not huge. Mostly if you didn't play the game in a way of abusing a lot of last accurate spaces. It's true if you accumulated players that used this, it's bad for you. But if you just had one, maybe he will lose 2 points somewhere and win 2 points somewhere else. So that's not a big deal for most of managers. Well, I let you go through this article. Okay, so we saw that there are some changes, of course, but these changes goes in the good way, in my opinion, of course, because they close the gap between reality and matrix, which will lead to onboard more people a long time and improve your experience in the long run, even if you experience some loss of a few points on the change. Sorare is a game, okay, a game that will evolve in the time, okay. That's not the last move of the matrix system, so you have to be ready for that. And the only way you can be ready for that is by checking players who have talent, and these players, you're gonna be happy across time because they will move to good clubs. They will move to good performances in Sorare 5 and in the future matrix change, because there will be again changes for the matrix. So you just can prepare by taking players who are good for football at any position on the pitch, and you will be apparently rewarded by the matrix because they try to fill the gap between the reality and the fantasy. Okay, so I hope that it was clear enough for you, even if my English is not perfect at all. I know that. I'm sorry for that. I did my best. You can subscribe to the channel. It's mostly in French, but sometimes it's in English, or in the Twitter. I do both English and French, and I try to analyze what I can, give my opinions, which is just an opinion, but it gives you some points of view. And if you are new to the game, like a lot of YouTube content creator, I have an affiliate link, or you can subscribe to this and win a free card after 5 buying in the auctions. And that's not the most important part of having a godfather. It's also for the help that he will provide to you, and that I try to do at any level you play. Even if mostly I focus on higher levels that I try to play myself, I also do help elsewhere. So you can use these links or somebody else links if you like the video. It's a way to reward your content creators. Thank you everyone, and see you on Sorare very soon. Bye bye.